our problem, just to reiterate, is how to fix free speech on social media, especially Twitter. Let's get into the problem analysis, boys.
I mean, basically, this has been happening it's been happening for a long time just because of the fact that, people have been banned on social media as well. Like, Kanye was banned for a while. But it's really been big since Elon took over Twitter because Elon's unbanning all these people. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, there were the people like that were spreading misinformation about COVID to, like, neo-Nazi leaders.
Yeah. Do you guys just want to, like, real quick kind of go over, like, thoughts on free speech, like what it is and what it isn't? I don't know if you guys like research stuff.
Well, the definition of free speech has nothing to. Free speech is not protected under social media.
No, I know, but just like to say it, like what it is, because some people like think it is. You know what I mean?
Like it's really just like a matter of like being able to say what you want, like a lot of research was just saying like in a public setting rather.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like basically just like being able to like say whatever you want like publicly. At the same time, I feel like you also got to be able to like know like, oh, like this is dumb, this is like offensive, but like at the same time, I mean like not everyone's gonna be happy with what you say. So
yeah, like this is just it's a different time we're living in. So we're still learning about what's okay to say and what's not okay to say.
And as like social media has like evolved a bunch too, so like like social media alone has changed so much.
Yeah.
That like what you could have said like 10 years ago would not fly now. Like
if you want like on the social media changing a lot, I researched a lot of stuff where they said like they should think that it should be treated as a town hall because it's gotten so big. Like, let me see where I wrote that. Well, real quick, like the reason that social media sites have immunity is because of like Section 230 of the Communication Decency Act. I don't know if you guys looked at this. I saw this from like Thomas
a little bit.
Yeah, so I read this from Thomas Jefferson University. Like a professor was talking about this, and it's basically just a law that argues that Twitter isn't liable for like the things that are said on it because it's like a public street outside of a business. So like they can't be sued.
That's what they can.
That's like what kind of it's at right now. Like that's why that right now you don't get free speech on Twitter and things because they don't treat it as like the public forum of the internet.
Yeah, they treat them as like they're private companies.
They treat it's kind of like telephone companies too. Like you know how like a telephone company can't be sued for like some crazy conversation on the telephone company. That's like the same thing. Like you can't sue someone for just kind of like providing the internet space for you.
Yeah, that kind of goes along with like I found in a medical journal that it was just the whole idea that like the government is the only thing that can like violate your First Amendment, and because social media is considered a private platform, it like they technically cannot violate your First Amendment. So that goes along with the whole freedom of speech.
Yeah.
I mean, I read in a Siena College poll, this is more along the lines of people not feeling able to say certain things anymore, which is weird just because of the fact that we're seeing a bunch of stuff just come out on Twitter that's horrible. But a Siena College study that said that 46% of people felt that they felt less free to talk about politics than they did a decade ago. So it just shows like...
Yeah.
And I feel like, I mean, you guys I'm sure have seen like on Instagram, Twitter, all that, like there's political arguments like heated like all the time now, and it's like I feel like it's just like stuff that shouldn't happen, but like it does. So like,
yeah, I read talking about like the people that don't want to like share their on this like site called Fire, which is basically just an opinion site. Mm-hmm. Talked about how they feel that more and more people are like, calling for censorship as opposed to before when more and more people were like about a free speech culture. Their like whole article is kind of about like how a free speech culture is necessary for free speech to happen on Twitter because you can't. I mean, we could change the laws and we'll get into that later, but as it stands right now, like it has to be more of a culture change that people would fight for.
I found on a website it's called Freedom Forum. It basically ranked like
I read that too.
It was like all the different types of speech, and it was like Twitter is like the least censored. Right here it says it's like ranked second for misinformation, and it's just like so. I mean, like I said earlier, how like social media has evolved, the people using it have also evolved. So like.
I mean, look at how Facebook started. Facebook started because Mark Zuckerberg was ranking girls on his website in his dorm room. Like it didn't start in like a nice way. It started mean.
Yeah.
I guess I kind of like set it up to be what it is now. But
Yeah.
like, because I mean, there were like there's plenty of stuff. But plenty of people are using like social media for like cyber scams and like stuff like that. Like I'm sure you guys have seen all like all like the scams that you can click on.
The best say, how do you guys like feel about that? Like, do you think that speech of like misinformation and stuff? Do you think Twitter should police it, or do you think that they should just?
Yeah, I mean, fake news or false news should not be there. Like, there's a reason. Like I go on Twitter for news. You know?
News, yeah.
Like, I mean, it's all based on your algorithm. Like, I don't really see any hate speech on my Twitter because of the fact that it's mostly only sports and movies that I'm looking at.
Yeah.
But if you're looking for certain things, like if you're a very political person, you're gonna follow a lot of political activists. You're gonna see stuff like that.
And the thing is, if you're like looking for politics on something like Twitter, you're gonna find one tweet that says one thing, and then you're gonna find something else that says like the polar opposite of that. So like,
I mean, honestly, looking for politics on Twitter is kind of your first problem because that's not where you should be looking.
Yeah, exactly.
But that's the thing. That social media is just right there. It's just right at everyone's fingertips. Like I could type in 6 keys. I'm on Twitter right
exactly.
now. It's just at everyone's fingertips rather than like finding the news, like going on CNN or Fox or MSNBC, and just that's where.
So you guys feel it should be more of like a news.
If
more like high standard than just because in like a public forum, people are gonna say.
If it's
stuff,
gonna
if
it's gonna be like that, if you're gonna get your news from that, make sure it's a reliable source. And if you're gonna be saying,
I feel like a social media platform should be able to like fact check. And
you think that they should be able to?
Yeah, like if you're gonna post something that's like clearly misinformation, there should be like some sort of like fact check software. I don't really know how like that stuff works.
Yeah, I think
something that like censors it.
I just think it's like a semi-slippery slope. Like I'm kind of like when we get into like the solutions, I would lean on like letting kind of everything go because I know Twitter. I read on what was this? This is Wall Street Journal. That there was all like the COVID misinformation, like blocking of content and stuff, and you know, like it kind of made sense. Don't let people like kind of make hysteria around COVID and just make random stuff up about a really big virus. But then some stuff kind of ended up being true or like not as false as they made it to be. So that's kind of annoying that they blocked like 11,200 accounts were suspended and 98,000 content pieces were blocked. So it's just kind of like a slippery slope. You know what I mean? Just blocking misinformation. But I see what you guys say, like obvious stuff. Like, there's just some obvious facts that
the thing is
aren't fact. You know what I mean? They're just opinions or
I feel like
just fake news.
I feel like misinformation can be more than just like lying about a fact because misinformation could be as simple as like twisting a story just like the slightest bit.
Yeah.
And just like where like most of it will be true, but like you change like one detail and all of a sudden like your perspective of the story is completely different because someone changed one detail that like isn't true.
Or even like misquoting somebody.
Yeah, no.
Like taking a quote completely out of context and twisting it around. Because again, like a lot of social media now is cancel culture too, and that's honestly what's part of the whole hate speech deal.
I wonder if that has anything to do with like people just like not being like dumb, but just like being like when they like not fact checking and not like proofreading their own tweets, just like typing something really fast and then pressing send without reading it over and like I figure that definitely could play a role into that.
What do you mean, like
you know, like if you're writing an essay for class, like you're gonna read it over, you're gonna make sure it's like grammatically correct, spelling's correct, your sources are correct. But like if you're writing like a 2-sentence tweet, you might not do that. You might just type it and then just press send, regardless of like whatever it says. Like you might not like check it. Just, like basically just like you're not proofreading, and then that could lead to like misinformation, I guess.
Yeah.
I think if we're gonna talk about free speech, we should kind of realize like where it was coming from, like when it first began, like the Espionage and Sedition Acts. Like it was just about like it made it so that you could like talk poorly about the government because in a lot of other countries you can't do that. It's a crime. And that's what free speech is about, like, so you can talk, I guess, truthfully about the government, and, like, now people are not, they're still doing that, but it's in a much harsher way.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did, let me find it real quick. I read something about, some court case, I think it was New York Times versus, who was it, let me see. Yeah, New York Times, Coe versus Sullivan. I think this happened in like the 60s. This is from the Wall Street Journal. And it established that like all discussion is available in debate for like public issues because I think it was a case around some like harsh, like really bad things being said in campaigns. and somebody sued or whatever, and they like it went all the way to the Supreme Court, and they said like, yeah, you can actually just like completely flame your opponent if you want to, like if that's your strategy. Like that is a viable thing under free speech to I mean, hate speech is also technically protected under free speech. Like, I don't know. Like, if you guys want to go through, like...
It is, honestly. I mean, that goes...
Right, it is right now.
Everything's protected.
Everything, yeah.
As long as you're not going to, like, blow up the country.
Everything's protected as long as you don't, like, immediately incite violence.
That kind of goes with, like, threats, though, because
Yeah, you can't do threats. If it's, like, a real... You can... It's vague because it's laws.
It's like, are you capable of
if you are, if
like,
you're capable...
Like
when people say that they're going to shoot up a school, on
like
Twitter, like that is a threat, and that's...
Yeah.
If like an 8-year-old boy says he's going to beat Shaq up, like,
that's not a threat.
That's not a threat. Like, you're not...
He can say that's kind of like a joke. Like that's kind of like for fun. Like he can say that.
He can be serious about it. Like,
true, but it's not. It's not true. Yeah.
I saw a quote from Middle Tennessee State that literally said, "Many individuals have faced prosecution for allegedly uttering true threats for communications on social media." So that like
you can't. Yeah, that's always protected.
Yes, like freedom of speech, but at the same time, I mean, like how many times have like you like in high school, I guess this because it doesn't really happen in college, but I'm sure you remember in high school, like someone would like post on their Snapchat story like, oh, like gonna bomb the school, and then all of a sudden it's like a big deal, and it's like you're in lockdown.
You can't tweet that.
The police are at the school. Like the kid's getting arrested, like
you can't make threats like that.
But that's the thing. A lot of times you can't control the tone of what you say on social media. I don't know if your parents.
Ooh, that is also true.
I don't know if your parents like grew up reading your texts. My parents would like read my texts, and they would see me like say things to my friends that they would think is mean. I'm like, that's just I'm making fun. Like we're joking. And a lot of, like sometimes
there is a tone issue.
Yeah. Also, that's another good point because like there's just like the age difference because like you got people as like younger than us using Twitter, and then you also have people like older than our grandparents using Twitter.
Like Trump is like 80s.
Yeah, and like they're not gonna understand like
sarcasm,
our teenage sarcasm, slang, stuff like that. We're not gonna understand if they have any of their slang. Like we're not gonna.
Since you guys brought up Trump, do you want to just talk about like the scope of bannings on Twitter? Like,
I feel like that goes back to misinformation.
I mean, he was banned after January.
Well, no, I'm just saying like just to give us an idea of like why like people are banned for like free speech situations. You know what I mean? Like I read on the Wrap that like a bunch of different people that were banned. I think it's like 20 people that were permanently banned, and like you said with Elon Musk, like they're all coming back now.
Yeah.
But there was like a decent amount of high level. I mean, obviously former president was banned. That's like kind of a semi big deal.
Yeah, definitely, I agree.
I don't know. Do you guys just want to touch on that? Like, do you think that's a big deal, or do you think it was?
Incited violence. Trump incited violence because of January 6th.
Yeah, he did.
And I mean, can you imagine? I mean, we think about it now. Like, that's just the most craziest. That's one of the craziest things that's ever happened in American history. I mean, we literally stormed the Capitol. That's nuts.
America like almost fell that day. Dude, I don't think people are aware of that America almost like died.
Do you guys just bring it up? Like, do you think it's like a even more exacerbated problem on these social media sites that there isn't really a good way to kind of have someone like a real human kind of review your case and like get you? You know what I mean? Like I feel like there's not a good method of like second chances.
That's like kind of what I was getting at with like the whole like proofreading a little bit.
Just for the whole like bots like
just like
going through
someone or like a software to just like that like you're like I mean you wouldn't like see it. It would take like when you in the time you press send to the time it posts, it'll either just like something that'll say like this message cannot be posted for whatever reason, or just like, post your message.
Like, that would actually be a really good idea.
Because if you post on Yik Yak, there's certain words that you type, it won't let you post it, or like even if it gets downloaded enough, it comes off. Like that's a cool way to do social media, because yes, you can still say what you want, but they're regulating what they want their site to have, which means their site has values. But you're still anonymous, so you can kind of see, like, you can name drop somebody, but again, it's only within 5 miles. But it's still like, I think that's a better form of social media.
I feel like with Yik Yak, especially on like a college campus, that's not the best example. Just because, like, think about with Penn State, like, all of Penn State isn't within more than like a 2-mile radius. I'm talking like just on campus.
Other than like tall trees, just like everybody.
Exactly, and like, I mean, I know people are living out there, but like. Yik Yak saying 5-mile radius means if you see a Yik Yak post within a 5-mile radius, it literally could have been anyone at Penn State.
Yeah.
Like you're not finding.
You're not finding them. But I'm saying it's not hate speech. Like there's not like there is some dissing on there, but it's not. But like they're regulating what you can say, which is I think it's a good thing to do.
Actually,
Twitter does it too. Twitter is like pretty good at hate speech. Well, at least I think they've I don't know. I saw Elon Musk tweet that hate speech is down a bunch. Yeah. So I think they have something in there.
A good example of misinformation actually. I got a text from a friend who was on Yik Yak and she's like, so I opened Yik Yak and it says Sean Clifford got a DUI, and it's just like stuff like that where it's like, because then we were just sitting there looking at it going like,
no, he didn't.
Yeah, it is.
If you got a DUI, it'd be huge.
Exactly. That's what I said.
That does seem like a pretty dangerous problem, like misinformation like that attacks people too as well.
Yeah.
Especially on those platforms because we can bring this up like, so I don't know if you guys know like the whole Hunter Biden laptop story. Yeah. Like, okay, you guys know all that, and so Twitter blocked like different content about it, different accounts because we can get into that with like the Twitter files that Biden like. I don't know if you guys want to talk about the Republican and Democrats asking Twitter to censor stuff, if that's like okay or not, or if you think that they should do that. But
I think we're all mature enough that we can talk
about
that.
I mean, with the censoring, I think as long as.
But I feel like there's just for this Hunter Biden like laptop story, the reason they said that they banned it was because like the information was obtained illegally, and there's like okay, like that's their terms of speech, like they're a private company, they can do that. But then like for Trump's tax returns, they didn't ban it, and like they were also this is also from the Wall Street Journal, by the way. And they didn't ban it, and so that's kind of like a double standard. Like,
yeah, that does make sense. I do understand why people get mad about that. I don't know. I feel like that goes back to the whole like censorship thing. Like,
I think you should be able to. I think if something is true, the people have the right to know about it.
Yeah.
If they're spreading misinformation, it should be taken away immediately.
Yeah, because I was just going to say with that, like, if that story was false and they were letting it go through the whole thing, because it was like, maybe, like, they didn't know, they were kind of just letting it rock, that's, like, pretty damning for him, and, you know what I mean, like, that's...
Also, and I mean, like, the thing with misinformation really is, like, it's not always, like, on purpose. It's literally like playing telephone. It's like, you start with one message, and then it's just, like, someone messes it up by accident, and, like, then next thing you know, like, completely different message comes out, and you're just like, oh, maybe that's not what I said. So, I mean, like, that's just, like... So, like, misinformation, I think, goes a lot along with, like, misunderstanding and, like, misinterpreting. Because, like, there's people out there who are just going to straight up post, like, Sean Clifford got a DUI. But then there's also people who are going to, like, see a story, misinterpret it, post what they think happened, and then all of a sudden it's like, wait, what?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's interesting for misinformation because, like, at the one hand, like, personally, I do want, like, all the information out there, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But if you do say stuff, you just let people say, like, oh, Sean Clifford got a DUI, this guy, like, did this. I mean, that can, like, change. Even with, like, recent if you guys saw, like Aaron Judge, the Giants thing, like, when that guy got that wrong, when he, like, tweeted that out first, I forget whoever it was with the
Johnny.
Yeah, and then people are saying, like they almost said something wrong on Twitter, and then I got him like a better deal with the Yankees maybe because they were like, oh shit, like maybe he's really close to getting a deal with the Giants.
Yeah.
So like stuff like that can affect lives, you know what I mean, like a pretty significant way.
Yeah.
Obviously with that, like it's just good for him because he's making more money, but it can be bad too.
Yeah, it's like
it's tough.
It's just hard because misinformation literally can ruin someone's
life. It can ruin, and it's tough because it's with like the DUI thing, like you can sue, like if the New York Times posted that story, like you can sue them, you know what I mean, for posting that story if it's wrong. But you can't, you can't sue Twitter for like defamation, obviously, because they'd have a bajillion lawsuits, like that wouldn't even work.
I feel like at this point though, with like how Twitter has evolved, and I'm not talking like recently, I'm talking past like 10, 20 years, I guess it is kind of recent. But Twitter, I feel like Twitter is like I feel like they just like have a bad reputation now.
They kind of do, just because of the crazy stuff Trump tweeted like during his presidency, and even before that.
Yeah.
But like misinformation, it's now kind of clouded, so you don't know what is true and what's not. So you have to kind of do your own research and make your own conclusions.
I also feel like more beyond Twitter, I feel like every social media has like their reputation where it's like Twitter, like like there's gonna be plenty of like true stuff on Twitter, but there's also just gonna be just as much misinformation. But then, and honestly, I feel like it kind of goes for like every social media, like Instagram, Snapchat, like because you could literally say whatever you want on any of these.
Yeah, almost. I mean, they block some stuff, but
Well, I mean, not anymore. Not Twitter, not anymore.
Well, Twitter, they have moved. to be more. Well, yeah, Elon Musk thinks that Twitter should be like the public forum of the internet.
I disagree. I mean, I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that. I mean, I think that they should definitely be within their rights for people to post things that they believe. Like, there's nothing wrong with posting something that you believe, but you have to make it clear that it's an opinion.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess they could have like a little button that says like opinion or you know what I mean, like to show like I'm a reporter trying to report like objective fact, or just be like I'm an op-ed. Because like New York Times like and Wall Street Journal will put op-eds.
I feel like people might like abuse that power though.
Yeah. Well, I mean, anybody with $8 can become verified now.
Yeah. All right. I think we've been going for like a decent amount of time. Do you want to move on to criteria or?
Yeah.
I feel like because we like have the problem pretty.
Yeah.
If you guys if you got any more research,
I think
say what you want.
Solid. I think we covered all our bases with that.
Yeah. Here. All right. We'll do.
Just problem criteria.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I feel like what criteria do we want to have for the solution?
I mean, I would just say, like, make sure,
like what, yeah.
Just public safety.
Yeah, exactly. Make sure no one gets hurt.
So make sure that no one kind of,
again, like
with the whole misinformation thing, like,
and there's gonna be because we talked about threats and like, I'm not talking about like physical safety. I mean like, you don't need someone getting like harassed on like cyber harassed. What's the word I'm looking for?
Like bullying, because technically like bullying is kind of protected under the First Amendment. Like you can kind of bully as long as you don't make like threats.
You can
make fun of people.
Yeah,
like,
but you can't like say, "Hey, I'm going to kill you."
No, you can't do that. Yeah. But so we're thinking like if we want to allow more. Like I would say we should allow like some more freedoms. Personally, we don't have to go with that. But
I feel like making fun of people can also only go so far. Because then it's like maybe like with someone will be like, oh, it's like funny the first few times, but all of a sudden like they're actually like starting to get mad, starting to get upset, and then like.
Well, no, definitely can. I think Twitter does. Like they look into like bullying.
I mean, if you look at the comments of like any major celebrities post, it's all like once you get far enough down, it's all like arguments and hate speech and all that.
Yeah. It's like public safety, like keep hate speech out, like try to monitor it, like. I mean, obviously any threats and stuff they already do, I mean, but just make sure that it's.
There should be some trigger words that like if you post them or if anybody comments anything, that you should be able to like it should flag it and then like see what it says, and if it's fine, just let it go. But if it's like inciting danger,
well, yeah, definitely we don't want any inciting danger for sure.
I think that that also.
I agree 100%. Yeah, I feel like it would kind of fall into there. What else? I would say I feel like I just want Twitter to have a like process to like kind of like get your account back or like review your case if you, because you know what I mean, like sometimes misinformation then turns out to like not necessarily be misinformation. Like,
but like what do you like if they do that, like would take like Trump for example, like they're gonna review that case, they're not gonna run his account back.
Well, no, I know, but for other people, I'm not necessarily saying for celebrities. I'm just saying like for regular people just that like do it and then they're like, because like also I feel like they just like care about the regular people more. You know what I mean? Like give like me like if I say something, I just got my own Twitter account. I tweet out like something about COVID during the thing, and then I'm like. It's like maybe true, you know. Maybe it's like there's some science behind it, and then they flag it and suspend my account. I should be able to like go to Twitter and like say my case. You know what I mean? I feel like there's not a good process for that. I just would like a process to give people a chance. You know, if they don't want to bring the people back, that's fine. But
so could we put like
just like a I don't know
like a
account back process? I don't know
system. Not like
I'm trying to think of the right word. Like just give me some sort of like
Twitter.
Like I'm trying to think of the word.
Like a Twitter like protection.
I don't know. Like just hit your account. Like some way to
protection case, something like that.
Yeah. I don't know.
Because like I guess that doesn't really.
But that
Smarter's sucks. Smarter's trash. Is this one good? Did we test these?
Nope. Okay, that was fine. Hopefully it doesn't die on us though.
I don't know what else.
I think like the people should be in charge of like what's there and what's not.
Like I think having more than Elon Musk in charge of Twitter.
Yeah, like one guy should not rule like this. Should be like a trustees board deal.
Get like a whole board together.
So for criteria, you think there should be
like an outside committee kind of.
Yeah.
You think that there should just be some sort of like more.
I think a platform like as big as Twitter being in the hands of one.
Like, kind of more regulation, I guess.
Yeah, like checks and balances. There's no checks and balances with Elon.
is literally just how do I get money.
I mean, yeah.
that's literally all that's on his mind.
All right, we need. I feel like we need like one or two more.
I mean, the solution should be protected by the Constitution, if anything.
I think.
Yeah, probably. I'm trying to think. What are the criteria?
Should definitely start this. It's definitely like big number one.
Sure. I'm trying to think of like a criteria. Like I feel like some criteria that at least gives people more.
Well, I think
a little bit more freedom to say.
The algorithm should be changed. Like the algorithm, like
It's more of like a direct solution. Like the criteria for that, I guess, would be like.
I don't know if this falls under safety, but maybe like comfort, like being comfortable on social media.
Yeah.
I don't really know if that falls.
Like
under
you shouldn't
safety,
be afraid to be like attacked.
But
I feel like it's kind of different. I don't know.
I feel like just
like
it could be a subcategory of safety, but we could also branch
like public
out.
safety is like if you're spreading false information about certain things that endangers people. But I'm saying like public safety and personal safety are two different things.
I also feel like public safety falls.
So that's more like personal safety.
Yeah. Personal safety / like being comfortable. Just because like, I mean, I know I want to be like comfortable like posting on social media, so just like viewing on social media, like.
Yeah, like if I don't want to be attacked for like believing certain things, like
I feel like our criteria should like allow with like I feel like Twitter should kind of like avoid politics almost, like getting like I don't know, we don't have to do this, but like with the whole Hunter Biden thing and then like the Twitter files, like getting involved in banning people, like I feel like there should be some sort of criteria where they should just kind of let politics be politics. Yeah, it's like this is more like like attacks on like a personal whatever, but like
I agree
if there's like an election going on or something, I feel like they should kind of stay out of it.
I agree with you because there's some like libel because they could libel. You can say something that like isn't true and that violates your first that violates.
Yeah.
Well, libel isn't like people who are public figures aren't protected by libel.
Yeah.
So I think that like I don't know how we would say this, but like public figures aren't necessarily protected, but like the average man, like the everyman is protected.
Yeah, I feel like like politics and more public figures, they should kind of let things play out in like the public eye.
Yeah.
But then obviously for like bullying, it's like for more personal situations.
Yeah.
So I don't know right like.
How do we word like not villainizing people for politics?
Well, I just feel like they should just kind of let like politics be politics, like on Twitter. Because anytime they step in, I just feel like they're playing like a dangerous game where they're almost like trying to influence stuff.
Just don't infringe on others' beliefs. Like.
Yeah, I just feel like they should like stay out of politics. On Twitter. Like Twitter itself, you know what I mean? Like they should just not even touch like president's accounts and that's unless obviously if they incite violence. Obviously, but
what do we write for that?
Just say it.
Politics, like like stay out of
political
politics
ambivalence
or something. I'll just like stay out of politics.
Oh my god.
Alright, I'll take a picture of this and then start with the solution generation. Alright, here, I'll take a quick pic just so we remember. I feel like this is a decent amount of criteria.
Yeah, I think we got a lot to work with there.
And then we'll come up with like a couple solutions here. Back up.
It's my knee in the picture.
Yeah, but it's fine. It's just so we can see like what we wrote. Alright, let's generate some solutions, boys. What solutions do we think are going to fix this problem?
Oh boy.
The old free speech.
I mean, I think you gotta amend the Constitution in some form.
I think that's definitely a choice.
Just because of the fact that it's not currently like free speech on social media is not currently like it's because free speech is only a government thing.
Do we want to like put it into change law because there is like the section 230 which would also like we wouldn't necessarily have to like amending the Constitution is one path obviously. But there's also like certain laws where it's doing
change certain laws,
change certain laws.
And that's obviously like a long term.
We're kind of lumping it into an approach, but
we can maybe even like rewrite the definition of the First Amendment.
Oh yeah,
I guess
that's changing laws.
You could say like
I'll
just write like First Amendment change.
The 28th Amendment.
I feel like we should definitely add, I think...
Or other things like whatever that section 203 or 30, whatever. Section 230 of like the communications thing. Yeah. If they changed that, that would also change certain things. We can talk about. I got some cons for that, but we can let that rock.
I also think we should. I think a good, solid solution idea could be like adding that bot to like Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, stuff like that. That like will basically say like, hey, like you can post this. Hey, you can't.
It's basically just Twitter regulate stuff more like kind of like
flagging certain words, or like it reviews everything everybody posts all the time.
Just like it, just like flag.
Well, I would say like, I feel like this solution could also tie into this. I'd say like if Twitter is going to regulate the stuff, they already do. Yeah. I just would like a transparent process of for sure what like their rules are. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Yeah.
Like, okay, we are going to flag stuff. Here's how that, like, they should tell you how the bot works too. You know what I mean? Like, you should get like a nice little like tutorial. Like, hey, here's how our like against hate speech thing works. Like, if you say that, like, they just plan it out. So then you're like, okay, like I got it. You're not just gonna run into a situation where you post something and then out of nowhere, like, boom, you're banned. It's like, well, I didn't even know. Like, you guys aren't clear. You know what I mean?
So
I don't know, like,
clarify regulations.
Yeah, like because I guess we could do like change and then clarify them.
Yeah, change/clarify regulations.
We can write them as two different ones, kind of, like, because they already have. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, it can kind of be two different solutions. Then they can also change them to like do different regulations on free speech. I mean, either or. They can go less or more. Like right now, they're going less, but they can go more.
I think that would be cool with social media is if the people could regulate what's on it. Like the people like to decide. So if a post gets a certain, or if a post or an account gets a certain amount of flags, like enough reports. It shouldn't be a ban because it could just be like people who disagree with them. But it should be like, or put it under review. Like, hey, like, is this guy inciting violence?
So kind of like a people regulation type thing on every, like, checks on each other, you know, like instead of just Twitter deciding, let us decide. Like,
make Twitter a privilege. Make it a privilege.
Make Twitter a democracy.
Like, it should be a privilege, not a right.
People regulating each other.
I feel like I can see a lot of cons with that though.
Well, no, we're not. We're just writing solutions.
Yeah, I know.
We're just writing solutions.
I can see a lot of cons.
Let's get like two more. I feel like maybe one or two more would probably be good.
Yeah,
I like that's an interesting one.
It is. I see a lot that can go wrong.
We're writing stuff down. We're just writing stuff down. What else? We said stuff before that was like kind of solutions, but I forget. Like when we were talking earlier. Yeah. Did you write that one down, or that was like
that was the regulations? Okay. Yeah.
All right. Let's think. What else?
Oh, okay. People could. There are all. So I was looking at. There's alternative social media sites that kind of regulate what you said already. There's stuff called it's called Getter, Parler, and BitChute. There's a bunch of them. They're nonpartisan and they kind of put down cancel culture. They mute certain accounts that put out hate speech, and I think it's like a really interesting way. So like, it's a different kind of social media. So like only fringe people are on it, but it's just like a different. Like it's just like people could stop if people just stopped using Twitter, which frankly would be hard. But if you don't want to be on the site that's with all the
So solution is just kind of
like just
make and grow your own social
using alternate sources.
Using.
I was actually just looking at my source that had that. I was reading
from a Pew Research Center.
Yep. Yeah, it was because that Pew Research was basically just saying that like alternate.
Yeah, like use an alternate site with more free, like that more aligns with what you want to say.
It could also say like it could be censored more easily, regulated more easily. So like alternate social media. I feel. Yeah. Okay. Well, I'll save that for when we.
Save it.
I'll save that for.
I feel like this is. If we could think of one more, I think we're solid. But even this is pretty good. I don't know. Just brainstorm real quick and then we'll move on. How
much time have we been in here?
34 minutes.
Oh, we're chill.
Sweet.
So yeah, we should be able to. I mean, we could probably just roll with these then, because we get like a half an hour to evaluate them.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, let's take a pick. Because we'll probably have to do these like two. I'm not gonna be able to put all these on here.
I need to do these one by one.
Yeah, almost like one by one.
Actually, I feel like
maybe two.
I feel like we could group some of them in.
All right, you guys ready to evaluate them?
Yeah. I feel like we don't need to laptops that much anymore.
Well, you can pull some research if you want. If you still got research to say.
It's just getting uncomfortable sitting.
You kind of. Well, yeah, you can definitely just stand if you want that for sure. All right. So let's just start with this one. Pros and cons for changing certain laws or the First Amendment.
Well, cons, it's gonna take a really long time.
Well, and it also might not even happen because you need like 66% of the Senate, I believe,
and you need,
and
like,
67%
and you need
of
like,
the House.
and there's like unlimited filibuster.
And there's also going to be like someone who's like, you're trying to violate my freedom of speech.
Is this black one work more?
I don't know.
They give me like the worst markers ever to write with.
Come to the conclusion that all the library markers kind of just like suck.
Damn, we really should just use the freaking Surface. Alright. What do we say? Take a long time.
Yeah. There's gonna be like
Also, like, might not even be like you need to get a ton of support. Like, it might not be possible.
There's gonna be an uproar because people are gonna think you're violating their right of freedom.
Yeah. So like public backlash.
Yeah.
And you need a lot of support. Like you need like it has to be better. Like so, obviously the House and the Senate are pretty much split right now.
So
you
bad.
kind of need a lot of support.
Yeah, just like ton of support from like I guess that's just like both parties. Like it's
Yeah.
like it has to be because it has to be bipartisan. Because
You're never gonna get
even if you don't want to change the First Amendment and change that law, Section 230, you still would need a ton of support to change
Yeah,
that
you're
law.
never gonna get like 2/3 majority of stuff. It's gonna. I mean, you could, but it's just because it would take a lot or like a really really important law.
This is wow. This is sad. It's fine. I can keep switching. They're kind of like dying and undying. All right.
Pros would definitely be like.
Yeah, there's probably more. Let's just think of some
I
pros.
mean, pros would be like
Clarity.
it kind of it will regulate those things that are now considered public companies.
I do
Or
think.
private companies.
I do think it would add clarity.
Pros would
to,
probably like what should I say? Like clarity to kind of like
what
fringe public areas.
Yeah.
Like because Twitter's like it's a private company, but
Yeah,
it's not exactly.
You're not saying it in front of the town hall or anything.
Yeah, like on that. When did I read that too? There was something about like a law that. Let me try to find it real quick. I don't know if I'm gonna find it, but the whole point of like this one law, I forget exactly what it was that they were giving free speech freedoms to like technically private areas. It's like a municipality that's completely owned by. It's called like a corporate town, I think is what like the term they use. And so like it's technically all private, but they were like, nah, like you guys have to like free speech works here too, because it's essentially acting as a public place. So it's kind of like what this would be. So I'll just put like I'll put clarity. What else we said?
Oh, what I just said? What I said?
Yeah, it was like what like would it be like more regulation, less regulation?
It would just.
Well, I guess it depends which way you change it.
It would like kind of
It depends
define.
which way you
It would
change it, yeah.
define.
I feel like-
It would define the whole issue. It would define like what is protected and what's not. It would make it would put social media in that group where it's
Yeah.
right now.
Yeah, true. That's a good point. It would give social media like its own.
I feel like it's not necessarily
Rules.
more or less
Rules,
regulation.
yeah.
I feel like it's just like a better regulation.
True. It would just kind of change like more defined regulation. I don't know. Like,
Yeah. Improved regulation. More. You can honestly just put regulation.
That's also true.
Just put reg. You know what it means?
Yeah, because it would kind of like put the First Amendment onto quasi-public places. I guess I don't know.
And I think that's what it should be considered. Like I think it should be considered like a public place.
Yeah.
People have careers in this whole thing.
Yeah.
People make money for solely doing social media.
Yeah.
Any more pros?
I mean, in a perfect world, I think this is the perfect change. But
Yeah, I mean, changing the
honestly-
Section 230. I mean, because it's the whole thing where like Section 230, like gives Twitter immunity from being sued for defamation. Like what they say on there isn't Twitter saying that. You know what I mean? Like obviously they're not tweeting it, but then like the problem is they're also acting like the Wall Street Journal, where like they'll go in and like regulate stuff. And especially it's just dangerous when they regulate stuff where like Biden tells them to. Like that's just bad.
I just feel like the public backlash plus how long.
Yeah,
that
I
would
mean, we could
take
just rank
is
these like 1 through 5. Like I don't know, what do you guys like? Long time? What would that be like? 1 through 5? Like 5 being I guess really bad, and 1 being like a meh.
Five's kind of a bad. Like long time kind of takes forever.
Like
Yeah.
4, just because like
I mean,
you don't know exactly how long. It's
Yeah.
like 4.
When we say long time, I mean that's gonna be
This I feel like is a
Serious
5. I feel like this would
yeah.
just never work. Like I don't know. You guys want to like vote? Like
No,
I feel
I
like this is
agree
just a
with you.
5. Like
I
that's
agree.
just never gonna happen.
I feel like ton of support also kind of falls under not necessarily public backlash, but just like not everyone you need to support you is going to support you.
Public backlash like a 5.
I mean,
4.
public backlash, you can kind of just.
I guess a 3 maybe. Like because you can just kind of take
you can
it.
anticipate public backlash.
Because there's actually, I was about to say,
Exactly,
even
right.
there's like public. I'm guessing there was public backlash like when they abolished slavery. Like
Yeah,
I don't
of
know
course
bring that
there
up,
was.
but like
Sure.
there's so it's like
Yeah, because
3.
all the people who owned the slaves didn't want that to happen.
Yeah.
So like,
We'll just say Claire. I don't know. What do you guys want to put for these two?
I think clarity is more important, honestly. I would say 1 for clarity.
Well, no, like do 5 is the highest. 'Cause
I'll
then
take-
we'll like add them up and then.
Yeah.
I would say 5 for clarity.
3, yeah, 4 or 5.
And then like 3 for.
I
5,
think 3, yeah.
3. Alright.
8.
This is an 8.
13. Wait. No.
12.
We can do math.
I can't do math.
I'm just gonna write this on my computer. I don't feel like taking pictures. So, change the law. Con 12, pro 8.
Yeah.
Alright, cool. Let's move on. I think the next one was either change regulation or make regulation more clear. Clarify regulations
I feel like we kind
of Twitter. I guess I should
kind of already covered that.
Well, not really, because that was like changing the law.
Yeah.
This is like Twitter's regulations.
Okay,
So
yeah.
it's like we're not changing the law, but like Twitter's clarifying
Yeah.
how they ban people, what they ban people for. Pros and cons.
Pro is definitely like people know exactly what they can and can't
Yeah.
Yeah.
post. I guess you could honestly just put clarity again.
I'll just put like clear rules.
I think it makes people feel safer. Like on the.
Because they know like.
Yeah.
They know like what's gonna be regular. Like they know like, hey,
Yeah.
somebody can't go on here and say like,
They're not
Yeah.
gonna,
you know what I mean?
be surprised by
I
anything.
think that kind of goes back to the whole just like being comfortable.
Safety / comfort.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good one. What else? What else? How would clarify regulations be good?
I feel, so like, is this clarify regulations or clarify and
I would
act? Because
I would say just clarify. Then we can do the act one next.
Because, okay.
Like we can do
Like,
changing regulations next.
Just clarifying the regulations isn't
Just
gonna
like
stop
saying-
people from like
Yeah, I mean, we can-
threats and stuff.
Yeah.
we can say that. Like depending on their regulations, it still won't stop people. Like,
Yeah.
Like
Just-
it
just
because it depends what the regulations
just like
are.
clarifying the rule, like we'll talk about like taking action on that next one.
Like depending on what the regulations are,
Yeah.
it might not do much to stop misinformation. hate
Yeah.
speech, that stuff.
Exactly.
Which I guess we say we don't want that.
Just say hate speech. Yeah.
What? I'll group it in. Whatever. Remember all that. So,
Um,
what else would be good or bad?
I feel like I think we could put public backlash again because there's
Yeah,
gonna,
that's gonna call public backlash.
public backlash will be a con for every solution.
There could be public support though for this one. I
This
feel
is
like.
true.
Yes.
I guess we could have put that for the last one too.
Definitely.
But I feel like for this one it's more because it's just like a company doing its own thing. I feel like the people always hate the
I think the
government.
majority. I think we're like the people that are speaking out against all this stuff are. I think are in the minority. I think the people on Twitter mostly.
I guess I won't put public. I'll put like because it can make Twitter like more money. I guess we should start bringing up like the money aspect too.
Yeah.
Because it can make Twitter like.
If
Could make them more money. It could make them less money. I don't know. I guess it's like depending on how this
I
goes.
feel like if we look at a graph, we could like see it go like this.
I get here. We'll rank the numbers. What we think would happen more. You know what I mean? Like let's like public support. Maybe like more money. I don't know.
Now on this side, we read public backlash, less money.
Yeah, I should say like not like public, not more money, but like what's like when a company gets like good publicity, maybe like.
Better publicity.
Yeah, it's just better.
But I think it would lead. I might just put more money because it would like lead to
Yeah.
more money. You know what I mean? Like more ads, maybe like more ad
more
revenue.
people download Twitter.
Because I don't know if you guys read about like the ad revenue at all.
I don't. I don't think so.
But like that Fire kind of op-ed article that I read, so like money costs could be swaying more free speech on media like Twitter, like too much power, like Apple. How you guys probably saw like Apple try to like pull like their app off. They were gonna they threatened like we're gonna pull Apple off or Twitter off the Apple Store, and we're not gonna like do advertisements on here. And that's like a bunch of money for Twitter.
Yeah.
So like if they clarify the regulations, maybe Apple would be more on board, or we could say
it could honestly go the other way.
Maybe they would be advertisers to pull out, like advertisers leave.
Because you still want your site to be reputable.
And then,
exactly.
Well, I'll say public backlash. I mean, it is true for all of them. It's because we're literally doing a topic about like
there's
one of the biggest things in the public.
Exactly. And, like with something like with this, it's just like not everyone's gonna be happy. There's always gonna be.
Yes, I got any more pros or cons?
I think that's a lot of stuff there.
It's 4 for each, so.
Yeah, so.
Want to rank them? Want to do pros first?
Yeah, clear rules.
So clear rules, 5 being like, this is super important, like 1 being like,
I think 5.
Yeah.
Clear rules, fun. Safety, comfort.
Safety.
You think it would help a bunch?
That's also fun.
Yeah.
Public support. Do we think there'd be more public support for this or backlash? We just gotta pick that.
I think there's gonna be more backlash.
Definitely more backlash.
So like a 2 and a 4.
Yeah.
So like
yeah.
Because we're just kind of like saying like chance-wise, you know what I mean? And
Yeah.
then do we think there's gonna be more ad revenue coming in or more ad revenue leaving if they clarify the regulations?
That could be more.
Maybe, or it could be E. We could say 3 and 3. I don't know. It's hard to say.
I think we could put 3 and 3.
Yeah.
I could very.
Nah, you know what? Let's make a decision just because we're here. Let's just do.
I think
I think more of
this is gonna be more revenue if you're like that.
You think more people are gonna like more big companies are gonna like this?
I think we should go
4 and 2.
4 and 2, yeah.
So switch it. Okay. Yeah, I kind of because I feel like the public would. They usually just hate stuff more than like companies.
Yeah.
And then we just gotta rank. So a con, like if the regulations suck and they just clarify them.
Yeah.
What do you think that would be?
Nothing's gonna change.
Because like if nothing, you know what I mean?
I'd give
Like if their regulations aren't good, they just clarify them. What do you?
Like 3 or 4, honestly.
I was thinking like 4.
4. All right.
And then
it might not stop information. Like that's.
Yeah.
Oh
that's
yeah,
a big
yeah.
one.
I think
that's a 5.
Yeah.
That's a 5.
All right, so.
I mean, honest.
10, 16, 15, right?
9.
4, 8.
13. Wait. 9. 4 plus 5. 9 plus 2. 11.
11, 15.
Oh, dude.
Barely.
Wow.
Barely that one. All right, so.
All right.
Let's write this one down. What is this one?
Clarifying regulations.
Pro 16, con 15.
Yep.
How much time are we in here?
We're at 47.
All right, we're chilling. We've been done like about an hour probably.
Yeah, 3 more. 3 more.
We should be on pace for that.
Yeah.
All right, next one's change regulations, right? We'll just do that one.
Yeah.
So change Twitter regulations.
Public backlash.
Yeah.
Public support.
Public support.
I mean, it is true. I mean, we're just like copping out, but it is true.
Honestly, we might as well just keep public backlash up there.
True. I mean, this is the ad thing also pertains to this.
Yeah. Actually, changing the regulations.
Like some more people. Like there could be more ad revenue coming, and there could be less. I mean.
Yeah, I think.
I'll just put it on there.
I think we could also.
We'll rank them how we want.
Yeah. I think we could also say.
I'll do some unique ones.
I think we could also say that like. I think we could honestly. I guess it's not unique.
Well, I guess
back, like, the
I was gonna say safety.
Yeah.
We'll put it on there because that's definitely.
That's a big one, yeah.
But I was also gonna say, depending on how they change the regulations, well, I guess I don't know if it's a pro or con. Like there could be a lot more free speech if like you let Elon Musk come in. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know if that's a pro or a con, but it's something.
I feel like there wouldn't be.
Like, I don't know.
It's something.
What do you like? Because you know what I mean. Like there could be more free speech or less free speech, but those are pros or cons for different people. Like that one, you know what I mean? Like I don't know where to put that.
The extremists.
I honestly feel like that would be a
as
pro.
many
I
extremists.
think that would be a pro because more free speech plus better regulations just means like a safer, but like
if they could somehow do that, then yeah, I
it's
see
like
what
a
you mean. If
safer
they
public
could,
environment, but that's gonna be like impossible to do.
yeah. Also, depending on how they change the regulations, this could be like more free speech
So,
for like.
it
It
could-
could be like just hey, like for the whole political thing, they stay out of it. They like kind of change the
Yeah.
regulations there, and they're like, we're not gonna get involved in like elections. Like we don't want to be seen as someone
Yeah.
that tampers with elections or whatever, or like does any of that crap. But we're gonna like protect like regular people. You know what I mean? Like we're gonna keep safe and stuff. So I guess we'll say pro in the sense of that.
Yes.
Like
more
if they do that, then
more free speech in like a safety manner.
sure.
I don't know. I
Those
don't
markers
know.
stink.
I think a big pro would be like it would limit it like the extremists. Like it would they would be
Yeah.
I'm gonna just like more free speech like politics, like under our
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
like pertaining to those situations, those like kind of fishy situations. Well, so they would change them. And then you said less extreme.
yeah.
Yeah, that kind of falls under
Like guys like Milo
politics.
Yiannopoulos would like just be absolutely.
I'll put as his own. We'll just say less extreme.
I don't know. I was thinking some cons.
Yeah, so I guess more cons of changing the regulations. Oh well, I guess we could say like. I guess technically, since Elon Musk is the only person doing this,
Oh yeah, the changes.
he
could
could
be, the changes
just
could be
make.
bad.
Well, yeah. Well, obviously the changes could be bad. Well, I guess we
Yeah,
could put
so-
that. Like, could be terrible changes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wrong. You just put wrong.
But let's just like say, I mean, yeah, it could be like wrong change. They could also not work. Like even if they are,
Yeah.
like even if we
That's
think
a-
that they're good, because
Yeah.
like I'm sure that he thought that like whole verify thing was good or whatever, and like they made like
Yeah.
parody accounts and didn't say they're parody. You know what I mean? Like I don't know if you guys saw that. Like sometimes good ideas turn out to be terrible, so
Yeah. So
could just turn out to be bad. I don't know, like
just you could just put like goes wrong.
yeah, like goes wrong. Like it could, you could think that the new regulations are gonna be like really good, and then like
Also,
the hate speech impressions go up like a million.
we
You
can
know,
also
just never know.
put that new regulations suck.
I feel like that's
That goes
That-
wrong.
yeah.
I feel like that's kind of the same.
Yeah.
I mean,
How many do we have? 1, 2, 3,
4, 5.
4, 5. We're gonna get like 4 over here to make it at least. So we just need 1 more or 2 more to at least make it a little even. Another con.
It goes wrong is so vague.
Yeah, it's true. I guess we could separate it. We could say like,
This is-
you thought it was gonna be good, it went wrong.
I mean, you could,
or you could just say,
it could be banning or like restricting the wrong like the wrong person. I guess like people
Yeah.
who aren't actually doing hate speech or aren't.
so
actually
like,
spreading
well, what's that
misinformation.
called? Like, innocent but not. What is it? You know what I mean? Like, they're guilty but they're innocent or whatever. Like that. You know what I mean?
What, innocent people proven guilty?
No, I'm just
Nah.
saying like how to like write it on here like in less words. like people were
I honestly-
like wrongfully banned.
Yeah.
Wrongful bannings, something like that.
I feel like yes, we have goes wrong is like vague on here, but I feel like
But like in our head
I
we
feel like-
know
I
that
feel
it's
we've
like
done, I feel like we've done a good enough job elaborating what goes
like
wrong.
we know in our head what it means, but like
Yeah.
on here it's written in an interesting way. Hi.
Goes wrong.
Do we want to just rank these, or do we want to?
Yeah.
Do you got more cons?
Let's
Or?
rank 'em.
That's
Let's
right.
just rank them. So, do we think there'd be more support or backlash? We'll do another.
I think there'd be some more support.
I think
Think there'd be more support,
So, like,
Four
I
support.
say
4 and 2.
4
Yeah.
or 4 and 3.
4 and 3.
4 and 3.
Yeah. Safety is obviously going to be 5. Right.
I think there's gonna be more companies are gonna like this and run more ads on Twitter,
I
or
think so. I think so.
Think so?
I think we can say 4.
Yeah, I
four,
would say
4 and
this.
3 or 4 and 2.
Again,
Like,
if
do you
you
think
make it a safer space, there's gonna
Yeah.
be more ads that want to be there.
Yeah.
so 3 or
Two.
2?
I'd say 2, yeah. Safety is obviously going to be 5.
Goes wrong. Goes wrong could be 5.
Yeah,
It does have to be a
definitely
5.
5.
I feel like the wrongful banning's also a 4 or 5. I don't know.
Yeah. 4.
More free speech for politics. What do you think this is?
Like a 3.
3.
3.
And then,
Less
Less-
extreme people.
Yeah, I'd say that's a 5 because
Yeah,
that's
I
what
agree.
Twitter is.
so 8.
10, 18, 21.
Blackjack.
Blackjack. What is 3, 2, so 5, 10, 14.
Yeah.
Alright. We're getting there, boys. Change reg, pro 21, con 14. Alright, 2 left. Then we gotta pick one. How much time's left?
Got 6 minutes.
Alright, we're going quick. Lightning round.
Alright.
What the hell's the next one?
So
I don't
last
know.
one.
There's 2 left.
What are the-
People regulating each other. Go.
Public backlash.
I don't actually know if there'd be any public
No.
backlash for that.
No.
I think it would only be support.
Um,
Yeah, support. Public support.
Yeah,
People
just
would like
literally
that.
just red support, and then.
Do you think people wouldn't like that?
I feel like it also opens a door for a lot more like social media fights.
Yeah, wrong. I would say
Yeah.
fights, like more conflict and like
Definitely.
like wrongful banning. So if you're gonna take it into account, like if people are allowed to say, hey, like I
Wrong stuff flagged. Wrong
Yeah.
flagging.
I thought he was gonna put the wrong up there.
I almost did just put wrong up there. Should we put ad revenue on here again? I don't even know how this would affect it. I feel like this is like
No.
impossible to even tell.
I think some people would feel more. I feel like some people.
Democratic
Yeah.
Yes.
values.
Yeah.
No, that's not how you
Just
whatever.
put democracy.
I think that people would feel safer just because, hey, if I
Safety.
don't want this on there, there's a chance that it
Safety.
gets off.
I agree.
Like I know.
I feel like it's our own rules. So like we're decide.
Yeah.
I don't know how do I put that. I guess that's democracy.
That's democracy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just democracy encompasses
Just leave it there.
more choice,
Someone with one
more
more
like regulation.
One more con. Fights, wrong flagging, people regulating each other. The system would have to be implemented by Twitter.
Yeah,
Like,
like,
how,
you have
like
to-
what about
yeah,
that?
so
Like,
it'd be like
Twitter
a
has to
very-
be on
very-
board, right?
It's a very
'Cause, like,
complicated
and, like,
system.
Yeah, it has to be complicated to code, like
And, like,
complicated.
people's
Yeah.
like one person regulating someone might be different than someone else regulating someone. So
Yeah, some people would
So,
have like more power.
just put like abuse power.
Abuse power.
Yeah.
True, because like I don't know how the system would work, but if you could see that like a celebrity's flagging someone.
Yeah.
4, 5, 5. I'm saying that's how I would do it.
4, 5, fights,
2, because there's already fights.
Yeah, this is true.
wrongful flagging.
3. Complicated system. That's a 4, and then
Yeah, 5.
abusive power is a 5.
5.
All right,
So,
so
That's 14.
14.
9.
5, 9.
What is that? 2.
That's a 5.
That's just 14. I think it's even.
Oh shit. Okay.
That's fine. People, each other. Pro 14, con 14. All right, last one. Let's get it.
Smile and wave.
We got 3 minutes.
All right. Oh, perfect.
That's actually perfect. Yeah.
Alright.
What the hell is the last one? Let me just check real quick. Use an alternative site.
Okay, so the con is that like some of them are like you have to pay.
People aren't gonna know. So another con to that is not everyone's gonna know.
Yeah, I
about it.
agree. It's not as famous.
Yeah.
Pay,
Not known.
not known. Pro, like aligns with your values.
More regulation.
Yeah.
More regulation.
Yeah, more regulation.
On the pro.
Yeah. Under pro.
Got you.
And then you could
I'm trying to put reg.
and then put censorship.
I'll put more reg.
Yeah.
Put censorship under there.
Here,
Yeah.
More reg. Censor. Ship.
It's like 1 or 2 more cons.
Not one more. We got 2 minutes.
One more con.
Alternate.
Paying. It's not as known.
You're not.
It could. Could we just say like it could literally fail? Like
Yeah,
you could be
So
like.
just
Yeah.
like goes
Could,
wrong.
it could like.
just not.
Well, it could also like not be a thing.
People,
Like that,
people
you know
might
what I
not
mean?
like it. You know.
Yeah. Just like.
This marker's dead, so this is a good time to be dead. All right, let's just rank them.
So I would
Aligning
say
values.
5,
5.
4,
More regulation.
and then
4.
censorship are probably 4 again.
Yeah. 4.
That's a solid.
Paying. 4.
That's a 4. 'Cause I'm not gonna pay for
Yeah,
that.
I'm not gonna lie. Not known. I think that's a 5.
That's a
Yeah,
5.
it's
Yeah.
definitely 5. And I feel like fail is also like 4 or 5.
Yeah, a 4.
So.
So they're
Are we
both
tied again?
13.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah. I think the one. What are the 5 again? What are-
Here, you can come look.
The one that works best, I think, is clarifying regulations. I really do.
Clarifying or
or
changing?
changing.
Clarifying or changing? They're kind of similar.
They're kind of similar,
We did
but-
have our highest pro was 21 with changing
Yeah,
changing regulations.
I think changing is probably the best route, honestly.
I think I agree. I mean, that was our most pros, and
Yeah.
well, it obviously depends if they do it right and all that. But like
Yeah.
under our system of changing the regulations, if we were the Twitter gods, I feel like that would be the best path.
Yeah.
For
Yeah.
sure, because
I mean,
it's
It's gonna take a while.
easiest. Like amending the Constitution, that's not gonna happen really.
Because I feel like just changing the regulations is gonna take a while. You need a bunch of people to do
Yeah.
that.
You need a lot.
But like ultimately, if it's done well, I think it could be
Alright.
like really good.
No, I agree.
Alright.
I feel like that's the best path.
we're gonna change all the regulations.
Are we good?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.